From stories across the globe to stories here at home, this is the National News Broadcast. A very good evening to you. I'm Sharifa Tahir.
Hello there. Good evening. I'm Niket Karunaratne. We'll start off with the headlines as usual.
Travel restrictions relaxed from 4 a.m. on the 21st. Interprovincial limits will continue. Travel restrictions will be imposed again from 10 p.m. on the 23rd to 4 a.m. on the 25th. New coronavirus variant Delta Plus spreads into Indian states. The Prime Minister says projects that have been stopped should be completed soon. He says solutions should be found for the problems faced by the people due to floods. Ranil's name sent to the Gazette for the UNP National List parliamentary seat. 10,000 rupee allowance will be paid to a farmer who cultivates a 1 hectare land to produce organic fertilizer. The government instructs all mobile sales vehicles and trade stalls to display the price of vegetables and fruits.
We move on to those and other stories in detail now. It has been decided to relax travel restrictions from 4 a.m. on the 21st of June. However, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa instructed the officials not to relax the inter-provincial travel restrictions. Travel restrictions will be reimposed and continue from 10 p.m. on June 23rd to 4 a.m. on June 25th. The restrictions imposed on public gatherings will continue as before. In addition, the heads of institutions in both public and private sectors should ensure that the respective entities are maintained under a minimum number of employees. The President also emphasized the need for all trade and economic operations to be carried out with the participation of a minimum number of people. These remarks were made by the President at a meeting with the Special COVID-19 Committee at the Presidential Secretariat this morning. Many complaints have been received with regard to delays in conducting last rites of non-COVID-19 related deaths as a result of subjecting them to PCR tests. The President has instructed to give approval to conduct the last rites of those who passed away from non-COVID-19 related causes within 24 hours, taking into account the economic and severe hardships faced by the families of the deceased. Though it was decided to lift travel restrictions on the 14th of June, steps were taken to extend the restrictions until June 21st based on the data received that 101 deaths were reported on the 11th of June. The President then extensively elaborated on the data obtained by the health sector and the intelligence unit following a thorough investigation conducted into the causes of deaths. It was also revealed that some of the deaths occurred during the 4-month period from February 6th to June 11th, and death certificates had also been issued. Information on certain deaths was found to have been mentioned twice. The President said that it was revealed following an in-depth investigation that the death toll occurred on the 11th of June was not 101 but only 15. The President emphasized that accuracy and timeliness in the provision of data is essential for making the right decisions.
ජූනි 11 වෙනිදා මේ 101ට ඉන්න එක්කෙනෙක් 9 වෙනි පුද්ගලයාත් 10 වෙනි පුද්ගලයාත් එක්කෙනා ඒකත් මේ 101ට අයිති මම මේක බැලුවට දැන් එක්ස්පර්ට්ලා දන්නේ නැහනේ ටීවී එකට ඇනලයිස් කරන එක්ස්පර්ට්ලා මේක දන්නේ නැහැ දැන් මම මේක කිව්වා මේක පහුගිය හරි තැන් වලට දාන්න අඩු කරන්න නෙමෙයි එතකොට හරි විදියකට අපිට දත්ත එනවා දැන් එහෙම කරාම ඒ charts දෙකේ වෙනසක් තියෙනවා ඔය වාර්තා කරන විදිය ඉතින් මේක දිහා බලවමයි මේවා හරි විදියට මේ 101 ඒවා හරි විදියට දැම්මම 67 ඒවා හරි විදියට දැම්මම මෙන්න බලන්න තියෙන chart එක. එතකොට ජූනි 6 ඉඳලා 63 50 34 21 15 11. ඔය chart දෙකේ වෙනස බලන්න ඕන එක්කෙනෙකුට තේරෙනවනේ chart එක යන්නේ කොහොමද කියලා. දැන් අපි මේක දිහා බලලා ඇනලිසිස් එකක් කරොත් සම්පූර්ණ වැරදි අදහසක් නෙන්නේ මේක හරි විදියට බැලුවොත් මේ තාක් දාපු ඒවායින් ජූනි 11 වෙනිදා ඉන්නේ 15 දෙනයි මැරි 101යි කියපු දවසේ ඇත්තටම ඉන්නේ 15 දෙනයි
Chairman of the State Pharmaceuticals Corporation, Dr. Prasanna Gunasena, said that over 4 million vaccines have been imported so far. At least another 4 million vaccines are expected in July, and accordingly, a higher percentage of people can be vaccinated. Ministers Pavitra Vanyarachchi, Gamini Lokage, Bandulaguna Wardana, Kehelia Rambukwella, Mahindananda Alutkamage, Prasanna Ranatunga, Rohita Abegunawardana, Ramesh Patirana, Nama Rajapaksha, State Ministers Sudarshani Fernandapulle, Channa Jayasumana, MP Madhuravithanage, Principal Advisor to the President, Lalit Veeratunga, Health Secretary, Major General Specialist Dr. Sanjeeva Munasinghe, commanders of the three armed forces and the heads of the health sector were also present at the meeting. Army Commander General Shavendra Silva said that permission has been given to open trade stalls between the period according to health guidelines. He said that travel restrictions will be in place on the 23rd from 10 p.m. to the 25th 4 a.m. covering the entire island. In the meantime, Deputy Director General of Health Services Dr. Hemanta Herath says that the new COVID variant has been found from the Colombo Municipal Council limits. Therefore, he emphasized that the health protective measures should be strictly followed along with travel restrictions.
There has been report detecting of new variant in Colombo area, which has been announced yesterday. However, this has been noticed by the respective experts who are doing the PCR testing among these populations, have noticed the presence of these variants few days back, and they have already informed the Colombo Municipal Council regarding this unusual patterns, and therefore Colombo Municipal Council has already taken, about 1 week ago, they have taken the required precautionary measures to prevent any possible spread of such diseases among the people. And however, by yesterday it has been confirmed that these new variants are present in the country, and by that time the Colombo Municipal Council together with stakeholders have already taken the required mitigative activities to prevent transmission of further, and they will be taking further actions depending on the requirements. And what I would like to ask from the public is whether it is new variant or not, the spread of this disease or this virus will depends on our behavior, where we are not adhering to travel restrictions and the social distancing and other health measures. I would like to ask all the public, we need to adhere to the required health guidelines all the time, every day, so that disease will not spread.
It was emphasized that the people who are engaged in physical fitness activities should follow health protective measures announced by the Health Ministry, and they should maintain social distance when engaged in such activities.
Raised with regards to the behavior of those who are doing daily routine exercises in different places. We as the Ministry of Health encouraged the physical activity because of the lockdown situation. We know that the physical inactivity has increased, and as a result we do not try to restrict such exercise or people doing their jogging or similar activities. However, what we need to insist is that when you all are doing such exercises or any other type of physical activities, it is important to adhere to the other health guidelines that we have stipulated. If you all are doing any vigorous exercise, definitely wearing a mask is not advised. However, what is required is do your exercise or whatever the activities alone or together with your immediate family members. Never do it with the other people who are coming from different houses or different places, and do not communicate or do the routine chatting and similar things without wearing masks, and also doing the other social interactions in close proximities, which will encourage and facilitate the transmission of disease if any one of those who are in association with you harboring the virus. So therefore, take all the possible precautions when you all are doing exercise.
Minister Pavitra Vanyarachchi has instructed Health Ministry officials to take all necessary measures to prevent the virus being spread to other areas from Colombo, the Matagoda area, after finding several persons infected with the Delta COVID variant. She has given instructions at the Action Review meeting of the COVID-19 prevention of the Health Ministry. Lengthy discussions took place on spreading the new virus variant at the committee meeting, and it has been decided to get samples from the areas where infected persons were found and to conduct relevant tests. It was also decided to conduct tests by tracing close contacts of the infected persons. The committee meeting has taken a decision to conduct special tests in other areas of the country where more infected individuals are found. A group of people, including State Minister Channa Jayasumana and Health Ministry Secretary Dr. Sanjeeva Munasinghe, were present on the occasion. Meanwhile, the Health Ministry said that Dematagoda area, where the patients were reported, was isolated about 5 days ago, since some changes were observed in the PCR tests. Professor Neelika Malavige says that the Indian Delta variant is spreading 50% faster than the British Beta variant. A lion at the Dahiwala Zoological Garden has been infected with COVID-19. 3 PCR tests have been done, and the third PCR test has confirmed that the lion is infected with the coronavirus. 1,560 COVID-19 patients were detected in the country today. Meanwhile, 1,825 patients left the hospitals today following recovery. Accordingly, the total recoveries in the country has increased up to a total of 197,259. 34,940 COVID-19 patients are still receiving treatments in hospital. Director General of Health Services has confirmed that 51 COVID-related deaths were reported on the 16th of this month. 3,140,256 vaccines have been given so far under the COVID-19 inoculation program. 107 have been given the second dose of the Covishield vaccine yesterday. 11,349 have been given yesterday the first dose of the Sinopharm vaccine. 43,040 have been given the second dose of the Sinopharm vaccine yesterday. The second dose of the Sputnik V vaccine has been given yesterday to 2,875 individuals. The vaccination program was implemented successfully today as well. Giving the vaccine to persons over 60 years of age in the Kandy district commenced today. They are being given the Sputnik V vaccine. Kandy District Secretary Chandan Tennakon said that the vaccination is taking place at 3 divisional secretariat areas. State Minister Dilum Amanugama inspected the vaccination program at the Girls' High School in Kandy. The police say that 1,390 persons who have breached the health guidelines have been arrested in the 24 hours that ended at 6 a.m. Today, so far, 38,311 violators of quarantine laws have been taken into custody. All economic centres and Palligoda Manning Market were open today for wholesale trading. Chairman of the Consumer Affairs Authority, Major General Shant Disanayaka, and Gampaha District Head of the Consumer Affairs Authority, Pradeep Kalutararachi, have visited the Palligoda Manning Market to look into the price increase of vegetables.
Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that local government bodies, public representatives and state officials should come into a collective decision to minimize problems faced by the people due to floods by speedily completing projects that have been suspended halfway. The Prime Minister mentioned this during a discussion today at the Temple Trees on providing solutions to floods in several areas of Colombo and Gampaha districts. The Prime Minister pointed out that the public and government are facing difficulties due to organizations not performing their duties properly, and said that all organizations should work together to complete projects without stopping them halfway. Allocations will be made available under proper procedures for the projects needed to find speedy solutions on behalf of the people. Attention was paid on many areas, including development projects related to Pathiagoda, Ambatale, Olyamulla water pumping station, development and cleaning of canals, pumping out water through new pumping stations, and settling of people in low-lying areas where there are no floods. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa said that the Municipal Council should be responsible for the public. He said that it would be easy if the mayor and the parliamentarian in the area are informed when work related to departments is involved. The Prime Minister has instructed officials to deploy job recipients of the Multi-Purpose Development Task Force who have been attached to various state institutions for development activities of the country. Attention was also paid on the passenger boat service which was launched in Colombo. State Minister Prasanna Ranavira, MP Madhuravitanage, Prime Minister's Secretary Gamini Senarath, Prime Minister's Additional Secretary Chaminda Kularatna, Kadwala Mayor Buddhika Jayavilal, Korte Mayor IVM Premalal, Kalaniya Pradesha Sabha Chairman Shantini Kumudini and state officials were present on the occasion.
Consumer Protection State Minister Lasantha Alagiyavanna says that the government has not taken a decision to increase the price of gas, milk powder, chicken, wheat flour and cement. During a media briefing today, the State Minister said that although relevant institutions have made requests to increase prices, discussions are taking place on providing them with relief instead of increasing prices. State Minister Lasantha Alagiyawanna said that the government has not taken a decision to increase the price of gas, milk powder, chicken, wheat flour and cement. He said that lengthy discussions are taking place on relief that can be given by the government to those organizations.
In the meantime, a gazette has been issued on maintaining essential services during the period of travel restrictions. The gazette has been issued on the instructions of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa with the signature of President Secretary P.B. Jayasundara. According to the gazette, all services of the Ports Authority have been made essential services. It includes mineral oil products supplying and distribution of fuel including liquefied gas, discharging of oil or fuel from any harbour, transporting, unloading, storing, handing over or removal have been made essential services. All public transport services conducted by Railway Department for goods transport and passenger transport services maintained by Sri Lanka Transport Board have been included in the list. The essential services include maintenance and security operations which are essential to maintain those public services according to the needs. The Gazette notification has said that services and labour contribution of Grama Niladhari, Samurdha Development Officer, Agriculture Research Assistant, field officers including all district and divisional secretariats are essential services. The central bank, all state banks and insurance services are also essential services. It includes garbage management services maintained by the local government bodies, Satosa Cooperative Wholesale Trade Corporation, Food Commissioners Department, Cooperative Development Department providing whole consumer goods needed by the people, including supplying of food items by the cooperative societies, storage, distribution and regulation are essential services. All services or labour contribution that should be made by or needed from government offices under provincial councils have been declared as essential services.
The Gazette has been issued to appoint United National Party leader Ranil Wickremesinghe to the National List parliamentary seat. The United National Party obtained only one National List parliamentary seat from the previous general election. It was vacant for nearly 1 year since no one was named by the party. After the working committee decided recently to name UNP leader, former Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe to the post, it was informed to the Elections Commission. The Elections Commission, according to the Constitution, has issued the Gazette announcing the appointment of Mr. Ranil Wickremesinghe as a member of the Parliament. The government has decided to conduct the state Pozon festival centres around Mihintale Rajamahavihara according to health guidelines. A discussion in this regard took place yesterday under the patronage of Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa at the temple trees. The Prime Minister instructed officials to organise the state Pozon festival with dignity. Religious ceremonies will be held at Situlpawa and Tissamaharama Rajamahavihara in connection with the state Pozon festival. Chief Monk of the Mihintale Rajamahavihara, Venerable Walavahen Gunavave Dhammaratana Thera, requested the Prime Minister to renovate Mihintale Circular Road in connection with the State Pozon Festival. The Prime Minister instructed Secretary to the Ministry of Highways to immediately attend to the matter. Discussion took place on development programme of the Situlpawa Rajamahavihara. Minister Namal Rajapaksa pointed out that due to a shortcoming when gazetting as a sacred place in 2007, the facilities due to the sacred area are not being received. The Prime Minister instructed the officials to gazette Situlpawa Rajamahavihara as a sacred area, rectifying those shortcomings. Chief Prelate of the Situlpawa Rajamahavihara, Venerable Dr. Mataramba Hemaratana Thera, requested the Prime Minister to renovate the entry road network to the Situlpawa Rajamahavihara. The Prime Minister instructed the Secretary to the Ministry of Highways to repair the road network immediately. Ministers Chamal Rajapaksa, Mahinda Amaravira, MP Upul Galapatti and Prime Minister's Secretary Gavini Senarath attended the discussion. Chief Monk of the Mihintale Rajamahavihara, Venerable Dr. Walavahen Gunavave Dhammaratana Thera, says that all measures are in place to hold the State Pozon Festival according to health protective measures.
The government has taken steps to minimize inconvenience caused to the public due to certain traders' increasing price of vegetables and fruits. It has taken the steps when the Presidential Task Force for Economic Revival and Poverty Alleviation met at the Temple Trees yesterday under the patronage of Minister Namal Rajapaksa. Attention was paid on publishing wholesale and retail sale prices of main economic centres in Palayagoda Manning Market during my main news bulletin of television channels. It was decided to instruct to display price of vegetables and fruits at all mobile sales vehicles and trade stalls. It was also decided to instruct to distribute vegetables and fish through cooperatives and Satosa outlets. The minister said that small marketplaces should be established at all towns, enabling the farmers to sell their produce, and steps should be taken to empower Consumers Affairs Authority to take necessary steps regarding the permits of the traders who exceed fair prices. It was proposed to provide relief given when purchasing paddy to medium-scale rice mill owners. It was proposed to keep open poultry wholesale trade stalls when the economic centres are open. State Ministers Shehan Semasinghe and Shashindra Rajapaksa and state officials were present at the discussion. Minister Namal Rajapaksa said that vaccination program will be accelerated to ensure the health protection of employees at investment zones. He mentioned this during a discussion recently at the Biyagama Export Processing Zone. Attention was paid on continuing production and export process at the Biyagama Export Processing Zone while overcoming challenges amid the COVID pandemic. Discussions took place on setting up intermediate treatment centres at free trade zones according to the needs and other activities. Minister Prasanna Ranatunga, State Ministers D.V. Chanaka and Prasanna Ranavira were present on the occasion.
Public Security Minister Sarath Weerasekara says that cases will be filed against 40 men accused connected to the Easter Sunday attack next month. He mentioned this during a press briefing at the Government Information Department on penalising the accused of the Easter Sunday attack. Minister Sarath Weerasekara said that extremist attacks should be studied in depth. He said that the Attorney General informed that cases can be filed against those who are connected to the Easter Sunday attack in July. There were 8 incidents related to the attack. The police conducted investigations into those 8 incidents and sent the files in November to the Attorney General. He further said it takes time to close the loopholes in the law. Cases have been filed against damaging Buddha statues in Mavanallam. Cases have been filed against the suspects connected to explosive found from Lactose estate. Cases have also been filed in connection with the Vanatha Villuva incident. 8 cases have been filed against 2 accused.
නිකුත් කළේ. එතකොට හිටපු නියෝජ්‍යවරයා සම කතා කරනකොට ඔහු කිව්වේ ඔහුට මේ ටික ලැබුණා, ඔහු ඒක අධ්‍යයනය කරනවා. නමුත් ඔහු ඉන්නේ ජනාධිපති කොමිසමේ තියෙන වාර්තාව වෙන. මොකද ඒක අතර පරස්පරයන් තියෙනවා නම් මොකද මේ අය වෙනුවෙන් පෙනී සිටින්නේ මේ ලංකාවේ ඉන්න හොඳම යයි සම්මත නීතිඥවරු තමයි පෙනී සිටින්නේ. උන්ට මුදල් ඕන තරම් තියෙනවා. ඒතර නීතියේ ඉතා කුඩා හිඩසකින් ඔවුන් පැනලා යන්න පුළුවන්. එතකොටත් එන්නේ පොලිසිය මත තමයි හේතුවටත් මේ චෝදනාව එන්නේ. ඒක නිසා ඒ සියලුම ඉඩස් වහන්න තමයි මෙච්චර වෙලා යන්නේ. ඒතර මාවනැල්ල බුදුපිළිම කඩුවගෙන නඩු පවලා තියෙනවා. ඒතර ලැක්ටෝස් වත්තේ උපුරුද්‍රව්‍ය හොයාගත් එකේ ඒ සැකකරන්ට විරුද්ධව නඩු පවලා තියෙනවා. ඉතින් මේ ආකාරයේ වනාතු විල්ලුව සිද්ධියේ නඩු පවලා තියෙනවා. නඩු 8ක් අද වෙනකොට පවලා තියෙනවා චූදිචෝ 32 දෙනෙකුට විරුද්ධ.
It was announced that 724 persons connected to the Easter Sunday attack have been arrested. Police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana said that 227 have been remanded on court orders. 83 are under the custody of police according to Prevention of Terrorism Act. Police have also taken into custody gems, jewellery and nearly 205 million rupees used on various occasions by the terrorists. 134 million rupees in about 100 bank accounts have been frozen.
The Ministry of Agriculture has decided to provide an allowance of 10,000 rupees for a farmer who cultivates 1 hectare of land to produce organic fertilizer. The decision has been taken during a discussion today on producing organic fertilizer and sully needed for the forthcoming Maha season. The discussion took place under the patronage of Minister Mahindananda Alutgamage. A group of people, including State Minister Mohan De Silva, Ministry Secretaries, Chairman of Corporations, Statutory Boards, officials of the Army and Civil Defence Department, attended the discussion. Lengthy discussions took place on the quantity of organic fertilizer that can be produced by the beginning of September for the forthcoming Maha season.
That's all the news for today. Join us again at the same time tomorrow. Good night.